Good morning, Floss Tube. It's Pam, stitching between the lines. Today is Thursday, December 1st, 2023, and this is Floss Tube number 119. Oh, where has the time gone? November, very, very busy, chaotically busy. Not in a bad way, just very busy, and December probably will be too, as it usually is. So my stitching was kind of all over the place, but I do have things to show, so that's a good thing. Changed out the quilt. This quilt, the name is on the quilt, right there, Hometown Christmas. It's a Sweetwater design. I bought it when the pattern was brand new out. Let me move. And I got the fabric line that the was in part, that's on the picture on the pattern by Sweetwater. I see it's still on their Etsy shop, so check that out if you're interested in that pattern. It was really a quick pattern, an easy pattern. I'm going to move again and just try to point so you can see it. It has just little bits of applique and little bits of embroidery. I took this quilt to do right after I bought it to the retreat I go to a couple times a year that was very close to my old house, like a mile away. And I worked on all the little squares. I do a buttonhole applique stitch with my machine. It's a beautiful stitch using a double-sided something by Pellon. You trace it on one side and press it down, and then you cut out, and then you press it onto your background fabric. And then it keeps it all in place nicely. I do a buttonhole stitch all around it. My machine, a Floss, does a beautiful buttonhole stitch. And not like making a buttonhole. That name is kind of, the shape of the stitch comes from that, but it's where the machine goes down one and then over one and back, and down one and over one and back. So you keep your down ones on the edge of the applique, even on the background fabric, and the over one and back is what catches the applique. And I very much like that. I like to use the Pellon product, which I'm sorry I can't remember the name of it right this second. It'll come to me, or I'll put it in here. It's a paper backed. It's very lightweight, double-sided sticky. So one side has the paper on it, and so you trace your design, and then you cut out around it, not fine-tune cutting. You just cut out around it and press it to the back of your fabric, the one that you want to applique down, and then you fine-tune the cutting, and then you iron it onto your background, and it holds it beautifully. I don't use that kind of thing if I'm going to make an applique quilt that you might cover up with or use or handle, because it adds a little bit of body to this particular, to the unit itself, and which it wouldn't be very comfortable, I guess would be the word to sleep under, but maybe it'll soften up with use. I don't know. So anyway, it doesn't have a ton of any of the things, not a ton of embroidery and not a ton of applique, and you get such a cute end result. I was just looking up there at what makes the berries, their little circles, which are appliqued on, but you could do buttons. Buttons would be cute. So anyway, there it is. It was super easy. All of this was a jelly roll, I think. Pretty sure. Yeah. So yeah, super easy. Hometown Christmas. I follow Sweetwater on Facebook, and I saw somebody posted a finish of this, and they had done it in very like primitive colors, like where the background, where it wasn't like this is probably unbleached muslin, it was like antiqued muslin, or the really sort of really old looking muslin, I don't know what to call it. And then their fabric colors were a lot more primitive. It was beautiful. It really was. So you don't have to have the exact fabrics to make a really stunning quilt. So that is Hometown Christmas by Sweetwater. The pattern is still available. I don't think the fabric line is their fabric line. But their fabric lines, they tend to stay right in the same family of colors. So you'd be safe with a jelly roll. I say it was a jelly roll, but when I look at things like this, it might have come from a jelly roll if you cut it right. That and the house is probably done in a variety of pieces. Let me look closer. Yeah, it kind of looks like a whole big piece. Now, sorry, just kicked my stool. I'm still going to say it was a jelly roll, but I don't know. I don't know. Read the pattern. There you go. Take the guesswork out. So there. It's so pretty. So anyway, I hung that. And what else? Holy cow, we went off on the quilt tangent really quick. It's super sunny today and very windy. As you can see, my bushes are blowing and the sunlight is flickering. So if that gets to be too much, let me scoot back up over here. We will maybe shut the blind. So anyway, it's a beautiful day. I've been out to do the grocery shopping and a couple errands, and I live, I've talked about it before. I live on the lake, and it's like little private roads that come down off the main road, and there are 8 houses on my road and 5 houses on the other road that we all kind of come down, and we're on one little stretch, and there's only 4 families of all those houses that are here all winter. 4 families, it's couples and a widowed lady. I saw everybody this morning. It's funny, at the grocery store, out walking on the street, passed them on the little road as I was coming in, and they were going out. So yeah, it's a real social day, December 1st. It's cold. It's 31, which we can take, especially when it's sunny, but it's very windy. So anyway, today's Thursday, December 1st. Holy cow. I love the Christmas season. It's my favorite, my absolute favorite. December is also my birthday month. So we have plans with kids and out to dinner and things like that coming up. Thanksgiving was nice. I had not all my kids home. My daughter goes to her husband's families for Thanksgiving. And then oftentimes they come here afterwards, but we were all doing a Saturday. We were gathering on Saturday at the wedding venue where my son will be married, and they were doing a food tasting. So that was a lot of fun. It was an actual formal event, and anybody who was having a wedding, who has confirmed and booked a wedding at that venue, can buy tickets and go. And we had all of my immediate family, my kids, spouses, whoever. And it was a lot of fun. Tasting the foods and deciding what we'd have. The bride really decides, but we got to weigh in. So we did that on Saturday, and on Sunday my girls and I have done this for years. We have decorated gingerbread houses at Thanksgiving, and we did that all at one of my daughter's houses on Sunday, and my soon-to-be daughter-in-law, who's never decorated a gingerbread house that I know of, put us all to shame. So there's that. I don't even know what to say. Maybe, I don't know. I don't even know. Mine was bad. If we were scoring anybody's, mine was the worst and hers was the best. But it wasn't a competition. It's just fun. So anyway, we did that. And what else? So, the usual hustle and bustle. The house is not decorated. I try not to decorate it before Thanksgiving. But then after Thanksgiving, things get really busy. Like, I'm trying to do the shopping, and then there's all the cooking and planning and baking and Christmas parties, even thinking about it wears me out. So I look around at my piles of mess and think, oy, but we're getting there. It's not really. We're not getting there. It'll happen, I guess, or it won't, but Christmas will come one way or another, whether the house looks like it or not. What else? That's about all, right? I stitch a little in fits and starts because it's busy. It's busy. So what have I been stitching? Let's look. My focus pieces this month were supposed to be, well, I say were supposed to be, they were. I did. Madame LaFay's, I took it out. Madame LaFay's The Mountain in Winter. I had it all ready for you, and here I am looking through the bag. I just dropped it on the floor. Here's what it looks like. gorgeous, right? Doesn't the picture always doesn't do it justice. So here's where I'm at. Let's see. I'm trying to be in the picture. I'm trying to see what's going on too. So when I started this month, I only had some of the letters done and maybe some of the snow done on the letters, and that was about it. Wow, that sun is really gonna do us in. Okay. Admire the quilt for a minute. Improved it, I guess. So as I got the letters done, I started to do the in winter, which is in French, right? Italian, I don't know. French. It's French. En hiver, right? Did I even say it close? I discovered I started along, and then the R wasn't ending up under the letter correctly, this spot. So what I discovered is somewhere in here the things are too far apart. They're one stitch apart, too far apart. So I was looking at it and I decided the one stitch could correct itself down here. Wow, we're still getting that sun ray. So I went over here. Sorry, I don't want to start over again, but I didn't really think the sun was coming in that window. There it is. All right, did we improve things? I decided to come over this way because the letters and everything touched each other and touched the border, whereas over here the letters touch this, what do you call it, star. And there was a room to have that pushed over that way. So I came over here and then I did the whole border, which met. I'm not done with the border. I went all the way around with at least some of the stitching. And then I'm just adding that. There's a couple other things going on. And then I worked up here. And down here, I'd like to finish in December the going down here, because this is where I'm going to get the correction of the missed stitch, or the stitch that's too far over that way. So I want to do this before I forget that all of this needs to come together in a certain way. This all should fall into place nicely. So yesterday I was working on this, which was not a lot of fun because there's a lot of little 1 stitches and 2 stitches of color. But when I finished it, I declared myself done for November, and I will come back in December and work on the coffee pot and stuff. And then I saw there were some more of those little things up here, but I'll work on that another day. But in December, I'd like to get the coffee pot area done. So it will be back out in December. I don't know how dedicated I'll be to it, but you never know. Anything's possible, right? And my other focus piece in November was Jolly Happy Soul by With Thy Needle and Thread. It's a weird one because if I hold it up so you can read the name, picture sideways. So then if I turn it sideways, I started this on January 1st, 2021. Yes, 2021. On January 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, 2021, I started a project each day. And, sorry. This was the January 1st one, and they all happened to be Snowman. And by the time I got the other 2 done, some point during the year 2021, 2022, really I think in 2022, I just couldn't bring myself to pick this one up. So when I picked it up, all I had was the outline of the snowman and just a few like his arms or whatever. So I actually managed to finish it. Last night I put the last stitch in. He's really cute. The birds, there's 3 of them, are 1/1. I don't hate 1/1. It's just, for the amount of space it covers, it's time consuming. But he's cute. He's cute. He's cute. I just love those colors of his holly and berries and. So I finished that last night. So that was my only finish in November, which is not that's fine. I figured I'd probably finish it, but I didn't really set out, being positive I'd finish it. But I'll take what I can get. And then I actually picked up, not really intentionally, more like I just grabbed it. I was going downstairs and I need something sometimes down there that doesn't take a lot of focus. Our family room's in the basement, so sometimes we're down there watching movies or playing games or whatever. So Where Liberty Dwells, and for this, I think alls I did this month was the rest of the red that's down on this part. No huge accomplishment, but it's coming along. It's an easy one to just pick up. Let's get a picture out. Put a few stitches in. And if I get one of the colors or another of this done, then I don't really need to look very much at the pattern. So I need to do the roof. I didn't have the color for the roof, and then I finally just decided to just pick something out. Don't fuss over it. And then a few little fussy bits, and then it's done. So I don't know, maybe it's halfway done at this point. The star, I'm not quite halfway done with the star, but I've got the house almost done, with the exception of the roof. What's this stitched on? Don't know. Someday, if we're interested, I'll look it up. Let's see. No, I don't see it there, so it's on my X-Stitch app. So that, and then I had a start in November, just on a whim. I started, this pattern was gifted to me by my friend, and she gifted me the pattern and the fabric and the threads and the project bag. That was so super kind. Very kind. So I got a start. Ooh, I left it with threads everywhere. I don't want to lose my wads of thread. So I just have the beginnings of a start. This is who I'm going to call the mama. Whoops. This is her. Pinwheel her shirt and start on her skirt. And that's it. No body, no head. So cute, isn't it? That's so cute. Artful Offerings, Patriotic Pinwheel Parade. I have a regular parade of patriotic parades. What did I do? The Sue Hillis one, I think, several years ago. And then I bought another one a few years ago that I haven't done. I bought it on Stash Unload. So that was the things I worked on, which was quite a bit, really. I mean, I flitted around, so I feel like I didn't get a whole... I shouldn't say that, because Madame LaFay's The Mountain in Winter is not a rinky-dink little piece. But anyway, enough of that. I had an FFO. Woohoo! That's not like me, right? I didn't show you all the components back in the day, back when the last time I went to Hobby Lobby and did all the find things to finish things, because this is the only one I managed to actually FFO at this point. This is Snowbirds by with Thy Needle and Thread, and he's attached to this shelf sitter snowman. So it's like he's holding a picture of maybe him and his wife. I don't know. That's what I think of. It's like he's holding a picture. And the poor light is making it look like maybe he's a little bit wrinkled, but the piece, but it's not. It is on there like it should be. I attached some loops of twine to the back, and they're looped around his little mitts. And so he sits and he holds it. He's so stinking cute. You see him in there? His colors are just right. Exactly right for that piece. So it's very cute. Very, very cute. Let's see if I can put him back up there carefully because he's cute. What else have I done? I was doing a little shopping on 123 Stitch for some gift things, and I splurged and bought myself a little something something. I bought this, which I think is new. 2022, yep. And they had the frames. I love it when you can do it, finish it, done. And I really liked that like periwinkle blue color. Isn't that pretty? Very, very pretty. Very much like that. I almost bought the other one that's another one that's new. It's like a snowman in swirls. He's not pictured here on the back, so maybe it's not as new as I think. But it was like full coverage, what it looked like, the swirling sky behind him. Wasn't really sure I was up to that. Like, I stitch these monster things, but I guess when I'm stitching something small, what I want from that experience is a little different. There's my clock. It's noon. This is the right season for my clock to be chiming at us. Get in there. There's just fabric. It's just fabric that I need to serge for some gifting. And then another purchase I happened upon was on Stash Unload. Stash Unloading, I think. I found these praiseworthy stitches. Now, I've never stitched a praiseworthy stitch. I kitted up the one. It's a giant one. It's a winter scene. I don't know. I think about starting it. So anyway, I encountered a few that I thought I'd love to stitch. Again, haven't stitched one. I know they're big. This is probably the smallest of the lot. And I got this one. Jingle All the Way. I am almost positive when this came out at Market, I had this one like earmarked as an early purchase, and then I think I talked myself out of it. I'm just looking on the back for a year. I don't see it. I'm almost positive when it came out I thought that. And then this one, Let It Snow. And if it wasn't that last one, it was this one that I thought I was going to. I don't really love their Santas. I don't know, I'm kind of picky about my Santa. I don't want him to look clownish or whatever-ish. And this one, that nativity is so cute, and that church, oh my gosh. You'd think before I buy more, but it's on Stash Unloading, and you know, you buy it or you don't. I should actually start one and decide I like the pattern or the style or whatever. Yeah. Opportunity knocked, and I believe I hemmed and hawed and looked and went back and thought about it and looked again and went back and bought them. I'm pretty sure there were some more that I did not, that somebody else got to first. So those are those. And what else? I've got some plans. Well, I had some plans that didn't pan out. I thought I would have a Thanksgiving Day start. I've done that in the past. So, I don't know. I think it was just chaotic. Thanksgiving is chaotic. My kids are here and their pets are here. And it's not really like mellow in my stitchy spot and all that to start anything. So this one is I printed it because I bought it. It's a download. And I honestly think maybe I bought it twice, but I don't know. What I've got here is the download. Pumpkin pie. I wish it was in color, but it's not. I love pumpkin pie. It doesn't take a lot of colors. Let's see what I've got here. Ginger snap and black coffee. It takes sort of pumpkin pie looking colors. Some 938, I think. Oh no, 310. $9.19, which is another pumpkin pie, a green, and there's a note on the outside of this that I need some $9.38, which you know is a lot like black coffee. So, and I have some Weeks mocha fabric to do it on. So, let's see, you see my quilt through that. Maybe I'll start it in December. No guarantees. We will see. I'm going to start some things in December. I say that allegedly because if I do with Go, which I change my mind about every 6 hours about doing whip go, because I don't have a problem getting my whips done. So the whole point of whip go, right, but it's just sort of the fun of what will I work on? I don't know. You know, I found that I like to work on something for a whole month and then have a secondary smaller project to work on for that month. And I really make progress and I finish things. Obviously, I finished like Kringles this year, Farms of Hawkroom Hollow, pumpkins, the Luca S. pumpkins. So finishing is not really a problem. I have a harder time starting. I can't just start all willy-nilly, especially when I have undone things like Vibrant Vistas, which is my Heaven and Earth design, which I finally got back out and kind of got active on again and haven't touched in not once in November anyway. And Kingdom of Books, I'd really like to have some good focus. Anyway, so circle back around to my debate about doing whip go is, and I know I don't need to have any more than the 11 whips that I've got. I can just put them on the board multiple times and I can work on them whenever I want, and I can set my goals on what whip go things are drawn small enough so that I can accomplish those and focus on something else. But I don't know. What I'm thinking about doing is 10 days, whatever it is 10 days, gets 10 days of stitching. And if it only needs 3 days, then it gets 3 days. And I'll do something else. I'll do the other one because I know I have a hard time taking the big projects, working on them only for 10 days, for example. I just want to keep going. After about a month, I'm generally ready to take a break. So I'm thinking if I have 2 things that are 10 days, that leaves me 10 days to either circle back around to the one I really wanted to stick with or to do something totally different. And 10 days isn't unrealistic. I'm looking at the cat. I'm not setting a number of stitches or a number of hours goal. That generally I stitch almost every day. It's a rare day I don't stitch. Like Thanksgiving, I probably didn't stitch at all. There might have been another day or two this past month in November when I didn't stitch at all, but that's not common. So 10 days is not impossible. And nothing says that that's the only thing I can work on for 10 days. If I pick it up and put one thread in and decide I'm done for the day, then it's still got worked on that day. So as I debate, like one day I say, yes, I'm going to do it. And then I say, no, what's the point? I thought, well, quite honestly, if I try it and it's just not working out, who cares? Like, who cares? There's no accountability. But if I love it, then I'll know. So if I don't try it, I won't know. So I'm kind of leaning towards trying it. And I'd also like to have a few more bigger projects. 11 whips right now. My plans for December may whittle that down, and then I plan to start some things that work it back up. I don't know. We'll see where it lands. So that didn't happen. My 8x8 I plan to have happen. Whether I can do 3 days of it or not, I don't know. Between New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, I hope I can start 8 new things. I did it last year. I worked on them for 3 days. By the 3rd day, I was sick of them. But I also finished 2 things, I think. So I'm going to try it again. And when it comes to putting these things in Whipco, 8x8, my 8x8 projects will be counted as one whip. because they're small. All of these are small. And I know everybody's standards of small is different. My standard of small is something that just really basically would take a few days. So my first 4 8x8s will be these. I've kitted them up. I bought thread. I am raring to go. Is 4 of the hands-on designed ornaments. So I have this one, Tree Farm, and White Christmas, Christmas Eve. I've seen this one done in different colors. It's possible mine will be a different color. Cut and carry. I have these, so I might not change the color. I might. I don't know. And this one, what's it called? The Deer Tier. All right, so let me say this different. This is all the White Christmas series. So the Deer Tier, Tree Farm, Christmas Eve, and Cut and Carry. So I'm going to do those. I have the fabric all ready. It's all serged. It is it's the rest of that week's mocha that I just showed you from pumpkin pie. So they're all cut to the sizes needed, and then I've labeled them for which one they're intended for. So there's that is ready to go. 4 of my 8x8. 3 more of my 8x8s will be, sorry, I feel like I'm going to sneeze, will be the Christmas Tree Trio by Waxing Moon. Those are so cute, aren't they? I have the things, I have the thread, I have the fabric. Okay, the thread. Let's talk about the thread for a minute, because I thought I was losing my mind. Somewhere, and not apparently in here, I was missing a week's thread, I think, called Morning Dew, I think is the name of it. So I ordered it, and you know, I just showed you like an order that came from 123 Stitch, and I don't know. I can't believe I don't know where that thread is. Again, let's just say again. I'm reading the list where I don't see it listed. But this is only one of the houses. It could be, I don't know. Don't quote me on any of this, because clearly I didn't get enough sleep last night. I thought I had it. I thought it came in an order, and I thought it was on my sewing machine cabinet. And so when I was starting to work on something on Monday, I thought, where is that thread? Where did it go? I know I had it. I know it was here. I saw it here. It was here. It was here. It was here. I have some threads I need to trim. And I'm looking on the floor. I'm looking under my cabinet, trying to figure out what did I do with it. And seriously was making myself crazy. And then yesterday, I got an order from Backwater Shop. And the thread was in there. So in the meantime, between thinking I lost it on Monday and it showing up on Wednesday, I ordered it again. Because I thought, I just can't. I'm making myself crazy. Well, I'm not really sure what I did with it between... There's more threads. A little bit of thread issue around the zipper. I don't want to say bad things about the project. I made these Lori Holt bags. You get the zippers, the whole thing, and they're not lined, and so the zipper back is not lined and sewn in anywhere, so I'm getting some frayed edges. I always sew it a couple times, so I think it's not going to come undone, but I got some frayed edges. Thready, fraying edges. Anyway, alright, so my thread will turn up, because if not, it's in another order that I placed that I actually think is out in my mailbox right now. I got a email that it had been delivered. So that leaves an eighth project to be part of my 8x8. I'm thinking it might be Prancer, which was a pattern I got when I went to Hobby House's Ellen Chester class. But I also might start this on Christmas. I don't know. I have this piece of silk weaver fabric. I think it was a one-off way back when I used to belong to their Surprise Me Fabric of the Month Club. I got some fabulous pieces. It's Dusty Road. Oh no! Back up the train. It is not. It is Dusty Road by Seraphim Fabrics. Wonder where I got that, because I do not usually buy blingy fabric. Whatever. I think it'll be kind of cool for this pattern from Hobby House. But if I start it sooner, then I'll have to come up with something else to start by Christmas. I had another pattern out. Oh, was looking for my pattern, or for my project bags of what I'm going to focus on in December. One of them being the mountain in winter, and I think Where Liberty Dwells. I'm picking out all of my sort of smaller projects and seeing if I can finish those. So that was the plan I alluded to, seeing if I can finish those things up, opening up spots for more starts. I've got 8x8 already starting, so that takes me up to 12. I have a wedding sampler I have to do, so that takes me to 13. And I have 3 I think I can finish, so that's back down to 10. So it leaves me room for 2. So there, how's that for math? If I want to have 12, because then I can put them all on my board twice or 3 times. If I don't think they need 2 times. If I'm, some of these patterns won't need 2 times if I don't finish them. But things like Kingdom of Books might go on there like 3 times, because I really want to turn the corner on that pattern this year. But we'll talk about that when we really get to a whip parade and the firm WIPCO plans. So anyway, I'm looking through my project bags to find the little things that I'm going to focus on in December, and I ran across this one, which is very cute. Not a big pattern. Oh gosh, not at all. And this way back, we still lived in our old house. So, we've been here almost 3 years. So I'm going to go with 4 years ago, 2018. I got the Color and Cotton Christmas box. I think it was the first one they ever did. Could be the only one they ever did. I have no idea. But this was the pattern in it. And I have it in a project bag with some fabric. It needs to be cut. This is a whole 17 by 26. That's a big piece of fabric for this little thing. But this must have come in there. Yep. It was part of the Cozy Christmas collection. Limited edition. My color of fabric, that's for darn sure. And it came with the threads. So this was hardly like I kitted it up. I put all the things that came in that box in a project bag, pretending like I was going to start it. I did this very recently, so pretty, right? There went one of the greens, one of the prettier colors. So that's going to be lovely. So I may end up starting that one this month. This could be the 8x8 if I don't do Prancer, or if I start Prancer on Christmas, or if I do a birthday start. The options. There are options. So what I did get out as focus pieces, showed you Where Liberty Dwells. And I want to get that one corner of the mountain in winter done. Is I pulled out this because it's so cute. I can't even imagine how I'm not working on this, because I love that. I bought that from a Ukrainian designer, Cute Patterns by Maria, and it's called Holiday in the Bottle, and it was a download. I bought it on her Etsy shop, Cute Patterns by Maria, and I started it, and because I roll up and hold in my left hand, I know that this is the top. I mean, showing you, I'm holding it in my right hand, but that's part of the tree on top of the car. I feel like there's not a ton of stitching in there. I could be delusional. It feels doable. Maybe. I'll certainly work on it. I'll certainly give it, some attention. And then I had to start, I don't know, when did I start this? Not in November, maybe in October. I had like just on a whim start. I started the roosters and the hens, which is a little house pattern. Right? Is that cute or what? This is how impulsive my start was. I didn't even serge my fabric, which generally I do, and that's upside down. That is some of the quilt that is hanging in the background. Cute, cute, cute. I'm looking at it and trying to decide if I'll even put this border on. I have ink on my finger. Years ago, Priscilla and Chelsea, back before they were designing and they were stitching things and finishing them, one of them made this, and they finished it on this little egg box from Michael's. And I bought it, of course, in the pattern because I just thought it was so cute. And at that time, this came out in 2019. We didn't live here yet. They were having farms around with chickens was very common on the hill I lived on. Now it might feel a little out of place, but it's still cute and I'm still working on it. So that's my December projects. I've got some plans for starting things, even if it's just the 8x8. So, December. I hope to have a FFO or two. I've got a couple things in the works. One of them was in the works a long time ago, and like happens for me, I just stopped working on it. I set it aside and never picked it up again. I was out of like SF 101, the Pellon product that you stabilize it, a stabilizer. I was out of that. So what else have I done? I've done some reading. I know I have complained a few times about books and not finding anything that's good. I have to insert a picture of this book because it was a library book. So it's already gone back to the library. But it was called We Were Liars. And sorry, whenever the bank sends a text or something, it's worth... Oh, so apparently the bank is letting me know that if I buy a Maserati, that they will make the first payment for me. Don't you all wish you had a bank like that? Okay. If I lease a Maserati, I don't even have to buy it. I just have to lease it. Okay, back to the business at hand. We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I've put the picture in. You saw it. I really enjoyed it. I don't know where I heard about it. It was on my to-be read list on my Goodreads, where I go, like every now and then I'll go and look at my list and then go to the library and see what they have and whether I can download the ebook, the audiobook, or get the actual physical book. That was actually an audiobook, and it was only 6.5 hours long, which for me, a general regular book is maybe 12 hours long. So I'm going to say it's not a huge book, but it was very good. It was about a family, told from the perspective of a teenage daughter with some cousins, a kind of well-to-do family living in and around New England, and they spent their summers on an island somewhere off the coast of, I don't know, Nantucket or whatever, where the grandparents owned a house and then had some other houses around, so each adult child had a house with their children. So this is a granddaughter of the founder of all this, and it's not overly involved. I don't want to say that because, I mean, if it's a book, you can listen to the audiobook in 6.5 hours. There's not going to be a ton of time spent describing and understanding people and their personalities and stuff. But it's, again, told from the perspective of a 15-year-old. And so her summer's on the island and some interactions with the cousins and whatnot. And something happens and somebody gets hurt. And some time goes by and there's issues with what really happened. And so it's not super suspenseful, but I definitely didn't see the ending coming. I did not see the ending coming. I did not know I would be. So that it was going to be a suspenseful, surprising ending. So I follow a couple different book groups on Facebook. And so sometimes I catch something about a book from there that intrigues me enough to put it on my Goodreads want to read list. I think this book came out in 2014, so this is not a new book, but it was definitely a good book. I really enjoyed it. And then the other book, this was a gift I got for Christmas last year, and I'm pretty sure it was last year. And it was on my pile of books to read, and I picked it up a few days ago, and I actually have like 3 pages to go. It came out in 2020. I have a few pages to go, but when I give books a rating on Goodreads, 3 is like your average book. 4 is a book I would recommend. So like We Were Liars would get 4, and there's not a lot of 4s in my list. 5s are so rare. 5 is a book I'd read again. I may not read this one again, but absolutely 100% I will tell you it is worth your money, your time finding it if you enjoy Christmas stories. So Christmas by the Book. Not a Hallmark-ish weird romance but it takes place in a little town in England, outside London, where as you read the story, you'd like to go live there, right? Because this is like, oh, so quaint. And, everybody goes to the trivia night at the bar and knows the bookshop owners, which is what this book is about, or who owns the flower shop, or the retired teacher who always runs the Christmas pageant and things like that. So, Anne Marie Ryan, and I think this was her first book from the little blurb, which I got a real kick out of the little blurb. This was her first novel for adults. It says she was raised in Massachusetts, now lives in London with her husband and 2 teenage daughters. When she's not reading or writing, Anne Marie plays tennis and does improv, much to her family's embarrassment. I thought that was so cute to put in there. I seriously highly recommend this book, Christmas by the Book. See if you can get it from your library. And I was reading what the blurb was, which isn't really anything relevant. It's so sweet. I don't want to say I didn't see the ending coming. I did not try to see the ending. That's what I'll say. I didn't try to. I knew, because it's a Christmas story and it's sort of a feel-good type book, I knew things would work out. I didn't even try. Didn't even try to figure out how they'd work out. I just enjoyed the characters, the feel of the town, the feel of the bookstore, that kind of thing. So, seriously, would recommend this book. Christmas by the Book. In fact, there's so much talk about different books, like The Christmas Carol or the book, I don't even remember the title, that It's a Wonderful Life, that movie is based on. There's reference to that, and there's reference to some Shakespeare, and it almost makes you want to go and find the book and read those books, which is, of course, hence the title. So, there we are. 2 good book recommendations. And that's it. My pile from over here has shifted all to over here on the floor, so that means I talked about all the things. And I think I told you most everything that I intended. No travel plans in December. Pretty much none in the immediate future. Just all the Christmas preparedness going on. We started doing a Christmas open house the Sunday before Christmas. So we're doing that again. What else? We have a lot of friends around here. Like, we live where a lot of people go south for the winter. So a lot of people that are here during the winter, we have a group of friends that we do varying social things with, and we sent out the invitation the other night. Everybody, full 100% RSVP'd. They're coming, which is lovely. So I need to get on the ball with that planning, because I do all the foods for that. It's my time to get out all my fun little Christmas dishes and make some things and try some new recipes and pull out what we used in the past that was a success. One of the things that I did last year that was a huge success was I took cranberries, frozen raw cranberries, and dipped them in melted chocolate. So you can do white chocolate or brown chocolate, regular milk chocolate, whatever flavor you like. Cranberries are very tart, so they balance beautifully with that melted chocolate. And then you dip them in, throw them in, pull them out with a fork, whatever, put them on a piece of wax paper on a cookie sheet and put them in the freezer so they solidify. They are so good, but you're eating raw cranberries, so you have to eat them sparingly. I'm just going to tell you that, because raw cranberries on your digestive system are interesting. So, but they're such a sweet, fun, neat treat. A friend of mine was so in love with them. Right after she was home, she was texting me for the how-tos on that, so she could serve them at her own family Christmas dinner. That was a fun one. I'll do those again for sure. And a little bit of baking. I have to do a cookie plate for a Christmas party on Monday night for my quilt guild. So I have to get on that soon. It's my birthday coming up, so my kids all come. For me, what I really like is that they come and they fix the meal. So that's fun. I really like that. And so we'll do that this weekend. And what else? We got things going on every weekend. And then it'll be Christmas. And then it'll be winter. Truly winter. So I hope everybody's having a great season and enjoys the season as much. If you celebrate Christmas, it's not always fun and games. I realize that. In my house and my family, we definitely enjoy the holiday. And again, it's my birthday and it's coming, and my son just had a birthday, and so it's definitely a season that we celebrate a lot of nice, fun events. So Floss Tube number 119 comes to a close, and I'll be back at the end of December. I may make more than one video at the end, maybe just to keep my whip parade to a video all by itself, and maybe whip go. I don't know. I guess we will see how I feel about it. I love a good whip parade. I will watch everybody's whip parade. People I don't watch, I'll watch their whip parades. So if I keep the whip parade all by itself, then people can pop in and watch without all the other stuff, if they aren't a regular watcher or whatever. I don't know. Don't feel like during that very busy season that they have to watch an hour-and-a-half video. I am very far behind on Floss Tube because, busy. Because I've been busy. I have been busy. And watching Floss Tube hasn't really been in the cards. So I'm trying to watch. There's people I look forward to watching, so I kind of skip ahead and watch them. And then I have to keep going back to say, who did I miss? And I've had to speed up people when they talk, which some people I do already watch at 1.25. But the people I don't usually do that to, I'm having to speed them up a little bit just because I don't have the time for an hour-and-a-half video and chopping it up, whatever. I'm just trying to make my way through where I've fallen behind. So anyway, I'm doing it. I'm working on it. I'm trying. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. So anyway, till next time, have a good one. Bye.